All right, Braxton. So here's the working research sheets that we have so far. Here's the data sheet with the biggest markets in the U.S. There's about 350, 380 or so markets that we're looking at. As you can see, the population's, kind of cut off around, 50,000 or so. We're mostly going to be interested in markets, around that million mark plus. I mean, we can take a look at some of these smaller markets if there's something that really stands out. That's kind of what I'm looking for. If there's something that really stands out, we can open up uh, little wholesale businesses in these other markets. If there's some numbers that really pop out at us, and that's what I'm kind of looking at. But I don't really want to be in any markets probably less than 300,000, uh, just because we're going to struggle to find investors. Anything less than that, would be my opinion. But if something really stands out, then in some of these smaller markets, when I say smaller, these less populated markets, then maybe we take a good look at it. But that's what hopefully all this data is going to really show us out of this 380. Is there something in there that really kind of stands out that looks really interesting? So far, what Bassett has done is entered in. Um, we've got the average home prices for most of the sheets. Some of these smaller markets, he didn't do it. I got to show him how to just Google and find that information because the Realtor.com didn't have the average home prices for some of these smaller markets. But so I'm going to go ahead and have him. I already have him done. I'm going to have him clean up the average home price, and then we already got the population change numbers, so we can tell if the city's growing, if it's shrinking, if it's staying the same roughly. We can see that with the population change. Um, Here's our 2020 versus 2010 population numbers. That's where I'm getting this data from. And then the average home prices I did 2020 to 2000, um, what, yeah, 2021 to 2020. So we can see most markets, the home pricing has gone up by these percents right here. So So next I'm gonna have him put in the inventory numbers, which is right here. So here's the data um, from Zillow, but they have 1,000 different markets, but we're mostly just gonna be interested in what's on this sheet here. So I went ahead and just did a inventory change from 2020 to 2021 and see the percent change. In most markets, obviously inventory has gone down in the larger markets, so which is to be expected, right? A couple of them stood out, like Austin, Texas. The inventory went up. Um, Milwaukee, Tucson, Boise, the inventory went up. But also, when you cross-check that with this, you'll see that the average home price shot up dramatically. So that's probably why their markets are starting to stagnate a little bit. But going back to the inventory sheet, when you go down, you'll see as these smaller markets, here's their inventory numbers right here. As we get into much smaller markets, they are having, um, there's more of them that have more inventory sitting on the market from the last year. So that's just kind of interesting. But I'm going to have him finish this out so I can really kind of dive in and come to some conclusions on what markets would be kind of cherry pick markets is what we're kind of looking for. So that's all I've got so far. So, anyways, hopefully that helps.